Okay, class, as you know, this year we're going to be discussing different types of writing, various forms such as expository, narrative, persuasive, and descriptive. Because these types of writing serve different purposes, they have different characteristics, and they call for a somewhat different kind of thinking process to do them effectively. So today what we're going to look at is some of the qualities and processes of thinking that go into good descriptive writing. Our objective, our goal today is to understand a fundamental idea that writing is thinking. And so descriptive writing can only come from descriptive thinking, looking at the world around you, noticing the details, and trying to paint a picture in your writing of what you see down to really minute details. Our approach is we're going to do a couple of exercises to sort of tap the descriptive parts of our brains and basically try to develop some rich, full sentences out of little or nothing. The two key thoughts I want you to keep in mind as we go through this, to remember the 5 W's. It looks like an S, but that's really a 5. As we used to say in the newspaper business, who, what, when, where, and if possible, why. When you sit down to think about your writing, try to think as fully as you can to address all those components, and try to move past the sort of simple, minimal answers and develop things as fully as possible. And in the same vein, what we're trying to do is develop a kind of writing where you show me rather than tell me. So rather than show and tell, I want you to remember to show, don't tell. At the end of the day, at the end of your writing, what it should be possible is for your readers to picture themselves in the setting that you're describing without any help at all. They don't have to go further in their mind and conjuring it up. You've basically put them in the scene, put them in the place. So we're going to start with a couple of quick examples. Look around the world at the most ordinary things and tell people what you see. So what kind of a shirt am I wearing? Anyone?
Blue.
Blue, okay. Blue. It's a blue shirt. That's the bare minimum. What kind of blue? Blue. What's the shirt made of, probably? Cotton. Is there any other things you can see about it? What kind of buttons?
White buttons.
White ones, and where are they?
In the collar and
Okay, is it a conservative shirt, a traditional shirt, a fancy shirt, or a loud shirt? Any of those words apply?
Traditional.
Traditional. Okay, so we've gone from, it's not simply a blue shirt. It's a traditional cotton blue button-down shirt. So when you just look at the most minimal things around you and try to expand them before you do your writing. So we're going to start with an exercise here, most basic kind of sentence, and see what we can come up with. See if we can build this and picture something more than this. The diagram. We're going to get a subject and a predicate here. It doesn't get much more basic than this. So see if we can build around these and come up with something interesting. What kind of dog?
Beagle.
Beagle. Okay. What else can you tell me about the beagle?
The zebra stripe.
Zebra stripe. Excellent.
He's rambunctious.
Rambunctious. Yeah. What's his mood? Rambunctious. Okay.
He's smelly.
Oh, that's unfortunate. How old's this dog?
2.
2 years old. So he's not a puppy anymore. He's an adult dog. Okay. What kind of a? We've said he's rambunctious. How is he? Is that affecting the way that he's running?
Probably.
How's this dog going down the street, or is he going down the street? Is he in a field? Is he in a street? Is he in the backyard?
He's in the field, but it's awkward because he only has 3 legs.
So he's also got some character. He's running around. So he's running in the field. Is he? Besides being rambunctious, is he angry? Is he happy? Is he vicious?
Happy.
He's happy.
So,
Playful.
All right. So
He's hobbling a little.
he's hobbling, but he's still game. So now we've got a basically we've got a smelly 3-legged adult zebra striped beagle who's rambunctiously and happily running through the field. It's a crazy sentence, but it's a lot more interesting than the dog ran. So I just want you, when I give you an assignment, to describe your room, describe your favorite pet, describe your best summer experience. go beyond that, and you're not really done until you've tapped your brain and thought through all kinds of possibilities. So that's just looking at some words and building from the words. And do one other quick exercise that we're going to do in pairs, and we're going to take about a minute or so to do this. Just imagine these are sort of postcards from an old era. Maybe you can share these, just talk about these in pairs. Or you three can talk about that, and you guys can talk about that. I want you to be able to look at something, even if you're not particularly familiar with it, and discuss it amongst yourselves. And let's think a little about what we're seeing here, down to the smallest detail. Just take a moment or so, and then we'll list some characteristics.
So probably sweaty. They like have the rest of the cigarettes and some of them are like that.
I do. No, they're not. Oh, yeah, they are. Very good. They're smoking. Their friends are. They probably hate their He's drinking. Yeah. They're sitting so that they were working and now they're chilling.
Yeah, like, it must be working.
Okay, let's refocus on the board here. Let's share our thoughts. Just anyone, as you look at these fellows, what jumps out? What can we say about them?
They don't look scared.
So, right, they're brave. They're about 40, 50 stories above Manhattan. How do you know that they're brave? What is it that you see that they're doing?
Well, they're relaxed, they're smiling, they're smoking, eating.
Could you say that they're sort of at home where they are?
Yeah.
It's familiar to them. What kind of folks get jobs up there? What do you have to? What kind of characteristics do you have to do this kind of work?
Probably be strong.
Strong.
Fearless.
Yes.
Maybe blue collar.
And is this a job that requires a particular skill? You have to be good at what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do you sense anything about their relationship with one another?
Friendly. They like each other.
There's sort of a camaraderie there. Okay, so rather than just saying this is just an old photo, black and white photo from Manhattan, what era do you think we're in? The last question, like how?
Like 20s.
20s, 1920s. So I'm just hoping you can, when you think about the images that you're going to be writing about, again, who, what, when, where, what era is this taking place, who is it, what kind of people are they? Can you tell from the way they're dressed, by their attitude towards one another, their body language, and just build from there the best descriptive sentences that you can, or essays that you can come up with. The last part we're going to do very quickly is, I think it's important when you're striving to become a good writer to just look around and read some good writing and see what other people have done. So we're going to very quickly read through this. This is an example of descriptive writing. And this is something that you can take a look at how the author has put this together and perhaps ask yourselves whether he, in his own way, he or she in their, oh excuse me Jim, I think that's a blank, whether he or she in their own way might have, oh goodness, could you share that over there? I thought these printed out blank, sorry about that. Can I borrow one of those back from there, share over here? Just take a look at this amongst yourselves and ask yourself whether this writer might have gone through some of the same exercises that we just went through. Yes, question?
I didn't get one.
Oh, can you guys share it, or
yeah.
just take a quick glance at it? I apologize, I thought I had more copies there. And if you're all set with that, I was going to quickly read this aloud, and we can all walk through it together. So this, I debated whether to give you the title of this because I didn't know if it would give away some of your sense of just reading this through initially. But this is the opening paragraph from Truman Capote's In Cold Blood, which he wrote in 1965. It's always stood out for me as a great example of descriptive writing. The village of Holcomb stands on the high wheat plains of western Kansas, a lonesome area that other Kansans call out there. Some 70 miles east of the Colorado border, the countryside, with its hard blue skies and desert clear air, has an atmosphere that is rather more far west than middle west. The local accent is barred with a prairie twang, a ranch hand nasalness, and the men, many of them wear narrow frontier trousers, Stetsons, and high-heeled boots with pointed toes. The land is flat, and the views are awesomely extensive. Horses, herds of cattle, a white cluster of grain elevators rising as gracefully as Greek temples are visible long before a traveler reaches them. To conclude here, as we look through this, do you feel that you're there in western Kansas with Capote as he's writing this? What aspects does he touch on that makes you feel that?